Hi guys, Mark here from High Level Listening. So in this post we're going to look at part 1 of the IELTS speaking test. Many students consider part 1 of the IELTS speaking test the easiest part. That could be true, but that said, part 1 can still have its own challenges. The examiner might ask you a very open question about things that change often, like how much time do you spend watching TV, or how long do you spend with your friends, or how often do you go abroad? It can be quite hard to answer those questions honestly because life is complicated and every day is different. So in this situation, you can say, it depends. It depends works best for these question types, which are quite common in part 1 of the speaking test. Again, these are questions which are very open, so you might have more than one answer depending on different situations. For example, do you like expensive restaurants? Or do you think children should have smartphones? Do you usually take taxis? How often do you watch new movies? How long do you spend shopping each week? Are people polite in your country? As I mentioned before, your answers can change easily and often because life changes often, and there are lots of different things that make a difference to your opinion. You can use the original form of this phrase to answer the question. It depends. You don't have to add or change anything. Here are some examples. What do you usually do at this time of day? Well, it depends. At this time of the day during the week, I'm usually driving to my office, but at the weekend, I'm probably still asleep. Do you usually have a lot of homework from university? It depends. In the weeks and months leading up to my final exams, I don't get much homework because my professors just tell me to revise for the tests. But during the semester, I usually have a lot to do. After saying it depends, you can simply explain two different situations, one after the other. In my examples, I used but to explain my second option or my second situation. It is possible to be more specific though, and we can connect a couple of things to it depends. Here are some common collocations with it depends. Some people say it depends on the weather, or it depends on the time of day or the time of year. It depends on the occasion. It depends on the place. It depends on my mood. It depends on my schedule, or it depends on my friends. Here's an example of one of those phrases. How long does your commute normally take you? It depends on the traffic, really. Sometimes during rush hour the traffic is terrible, which means it takes about 45 minutes to get to my office. But if the roads are clear, then it only takes about 20 minutes. Do you like exercising outdoors? Yes, definitely. Although it depends on the place. I only really like going jogging through parks, especially in spring. And I don't like running down the streets because it's quite noisy and dusty, plus the pavements are uneven and cracked. Do you prefer staying in or going out at the weekends? It depends on my mood. When I haven't seen my friends for a while and I want to catch up with them, I'll definitely go out and meet them. But if I had a stressful week at work, I would prefer to just unwind and chill out at home. Finally, you can use it depends with a relative clause as well. For example, if you want to talk about people, it depends on who. It depends on who I'm with. With my parents, I would visit some museums and parks. With my parents, though, I would rather relax on the beach. You can talk about objects, ideas, activities, and actions with it depends on what. It depends on what my family wants to do. At Christmas, sometimes we all meet at my grandparents' house, and other times we meet at my aunt and uncle's. It changes every year. You can talk about time periods with it depends on when. So it depends on when I travel. During summertime, plane tickets are more expensive, but in the winter they're usually cheaper, so I like to travel then. You can talk about places with it depends on where. For example, it depends on where I go shopping. At the supermarket, I can buy cheaper food, but at the local market, things are fresher and much better quality. Here's a part 1 example. How long do you normally spend watching TV? It depends on when I watch TV. I definitely watch more TV at the weekends because I like watching football matches and other primetime shows. During the week, however, I watch much less because I don't have as much free time. Do you think it's healthy to share your home with pets? I think it depends on what kind of pet you have. If you have an animal that's very domesticated and can be trained, like a dog or a cat, then I think it can be perfectly fine. If you have a slightly more exotic pet though, which is harder to train, then it might make a lot of mess and affect your health. But apart from that, I think most animals are healthy to live with. Do you like to travel alone? It depends on where I'm going, really. If it's a big city where there are lots of things to see and enjoy, then I don't mind going there by myself. But if I'm going to the countryside or camping somewhere quiet, then I think I'd prefer to have someone to keep me company and share the experience with. Are people in your country polite? I would say yes, we are quite polite. Most people will hold the door open for you, wait in line and say sorry if they knock into you by mistake. I'd say that people are friendlier in the countryside than in the city, so it depends on who you meet and where you are, but for the most part, I think British people are very polite. So there you go. Don't forget that you can also use this in part 3 of the test as well. Because part 3 questions are very open, there are lots of different answers that you can give, so you can use it depends there as well. This will score high band grammar points, especially in part 1 early in the test. The questions are easy, the questions are much simpler, so take advantage of that opportunity to score grammar, vocabulary and fluency points early in the test by using it depends. If you're looking for more tips like this, you can always sign up for our 4-day IELTS mini course, which is full of score boosting speaking tips for part 1, 2 and 3. There are even more downloadable worksheets attached, as well as over 60 IELTS questions taken from the latest exams. You can find a link to that in this post. And if you want to get my personal speaking guidance and feedback, you can check out our IELTS speaking correction service. You can get my corrections and personalized guidance sent directly to your inbox with pronunciation guidance, written feedback, and updated examples of your own work. You can check that out in the link below as well. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.